everyone, welcome back. It's Moa aka Swedish Whiskey Girl, and today I'm really happy to be back with a video in collaboration with CùBòcan. So I'm gonna have a little taste of the signature CùBòcan and also their new 12-year-old to do a little bit of a comparison to see how this new one, the new age statement, compares to the signature. I've of course been really fortunate to be able to do a collaboration with CùBòcan for quite a few of their releases, and if you're curious to see those, I have put up a little blog post with more tasting notes for the 12-year-old and also their recent release, the Creation number 5. So go check that out if you're curious to read more, and I've also linked to my old Instagram posts for the others. But let's get into having a look on them. First of all, we're gonna have a look at the signature, which has been matured in a combination of bourbon, Oloroso sherry, and North American virgin oak casks. For those of you who don't know CùBòcan, it is a brand distilled at Tomaten distillery, but it's bottled under the CùBòcan name because it contains peated spirits. It usually has quite a lightly peated character, and with the series of the creations that they've been doing, which I was just mentioning the Creation number 5, they've been playing around with some different cask types. So yeah, I think it's quite an interesting one, and I know I like the Tomaten spirit as well, so I think this is quite an interesting one to follow for me. And we are going to have a little taste of this. I think I've reviewed it before, but I can't actually remember. And then we are going to have a look at the new 12-year-old. So this is batch number 1, so it's going to be released in batches. And it's been matured in Caribbean rum casks. I believe this whiskey was distilled on the 10th of December 2010, and the rum casks used have been rum casks from distilleries in Guyana and in Barbados, bottled at 46% ABV, and it's non-chill, non-chill filtered, natural colour, just like all the other releases. So yeah, why don't we start with having a little taste? So let's start with a little comparison on the nose. I do have different glasses just so I can tell them apart, but we'll start with the signature and then we'll move on to the 12. I've forgotten how weird my tasting notes are until I actually start thinking about them and what I'm gonna say. The signature to me reminds me of like a cool summer's evening when you're hiding away in the top floor of a barn, which tells you a little bit about my childhood. And I used to be quite romantic, just sneak into the nearby barns and just sit in the hay and just think about whatever. But it does have like a little bit of a chillier fruitiness, like a chillier kind of grain notes. Some greener fruits and some orchard fruits, so like that fresh fruitiness as well. Almost a little bit Dunnage Warehouse. And like sweet barley, but I don't know if it feels cold just because this dram is a little bit cold, but the aromas feel quite like summer evening chill to me, or like springtime chill or early autumn chill, just because they feel quite blue, if we're gonna say that aromas are colours. But let's have a look on the 12. This is different straight away. I'm just trying to actually figure out... Oh, a little frog. It's like a little bit of pineapple and cinnamon. And something very specific, which is reminds me of some sort of woodiness. If you can hear my neighbour hammering and sawing, I'm terribly sorry, but they just won't stop. What is that? Something oddly specific, which kind of links into woody cinnamon notes, but it's... I'm trying to remember if it's like something like a wood varnish which I think smells quite nice. Or if it's like, I think it's actually food related, which is why I'm thinking maybe it will be a spice, like a savory herb or something like that. Almost reminds me of a really fruity beer. Like it has almost like hoppy notes on the nose. They are definitely different. So let's see if I can actually tell you what I'm getting that's different. The signature feels sweeter. Like, I obviously know you can't smell sweets, but it has like sweeter influence. It's like more caramel, probably. Now when I'm coming back to it, but I wonder if that's the influence of kind of the sherry, the Oloroso influence. The 12 feels more golden. Oh, another frog. Clearly not used to talking on camera anymore. Like fresh grass. Fresh grass, like charred pineapple. There's some sort of charry notes about that. Okay, I always get stuck on nosing, but let's have a taste of the signature first and then the swell. Sláinte Skål. I think straight away on the signature you get the peat. I don't actually, like, the first nose I had, and I probably should have said it then, I get a little bit of the smoke, like a soft smoke. But on the palate, it's really kind of the thing that steps forward and takes center stage. It's ashy for me. Has a little bit of tannins, but they're quite soft. A little bit kind of dusty, almost leathery vibe. And some fruitiness, but it's like a green apple or pear fruitiness, and it's still quite mouth-watering. There's a nice combination of those kind of ashy tones, but linger with a little bit of tannins, and then a bit of that fruitiness. But let's have a taste of the 12. Interesting, it's very similar to what it was on the nose, on the palate as well. Feels like it has... The smoke doesn't feel as prominent on the 12, which you wouldn't really expect, with a bit more maturation. It does have like a soft pineapple note, but I wouldn't say the pineapple is the most dominant. It's just kind of lingering backstage. And obviously, because this had more dominant peat, I'm gonna have a sip of some more just to see, give us a fresh palate approach to the swell. Just gonna reach all my glasses. So the peat is there. It kind of kicks in towards the middle of it and then kind of grows with a finish. Not as ashy and dominant as on the signature, but mixed in with like grassiness, like grassy tannins, if that makes sense, and a bit of that pineapple. Oh, my throat making weird noises. I think the apple and pear notes that I found in the signature, I don't find them on the 12, but it feels very fresh, but in a different way. Let's see if I can expand on that thought. Even though the smoke is soft, it still has a robust note about it. Probably be a really good one for like, obviously knowing it's Caribbean rum casks and knowing it's like released towards the summer always makes you think it's a summer whiskey, but I do think this would probably be a really good one with like a barbecue. Like barbecue some pineapple, barbecue some pork or some, I don't know, whatever really. And have it with this, get a little bit of the sweetness, get a little bit of the peat in there. It's quite fun when there's a lot of different characters, because I think if you tried it with food as well, you would get different things that jump out. And as always, I have forgot to say what they retail at. I believe the signature retails at £46 and the 12 retails at £65. I'm just going to have a quick glance to the side and see if I'm right. Yep. I try my best to memorise things, but it just doesn't stick, especially right now when there's just so much happening. Now I get more of the fruitiness. It almost has like influences of grapes, like red grapes. Maybe that's what the fresh note is coming from. We are gonna have another sip of the signature, just to have another check on the both. Now what I'm getting on the nose of the signature is like caramel and some pears. Yeah, getting some caramel on the palate now as well. But this definitely has a bit more of that ashy smoke. It's more apples and pear fruitiness, whereas we'll have another sip of the 12. It just feels more tropical, more grassy. So if I was going to summarise it, that's it. Please let me know if you've tried the signature, have you tried the 12, have you tried any of the creations? I'd love to hear your thoughts as always in the comments below. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you've had, let me know in the comments. Leave a like if you fancy, that always makes me so happy. And feel free to share it to your friends if you think they'll be interested in a whiskey like this. And also thanks to CùBòcan for wanting to do this collaboration with me, and I hope to see you in the next video. Sláinte Skål!